Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you my updated highlighting and contouring routine. I realized I've still not shown you in a video the Kevyn Aucoin sculpting powder, which I believe is the best contour powder out there. So I figured it was time to show you how it's done. So I've already applied my foundation and now I am ready to kind of conceal and highlight with my current favorite concealer, which is the Urban Decay Naked Skin. I am using the light warm shade and I'm just going under my eyes, all the other highlight points, dark or reddish areas that I want to conceal, and I am just going to blend this out with my fingers. It tends to work best that way. I've tried blending this concealer out with a beauty blender and I don't know, it kind of broke it up. It didn't work as well. A kind of tapered kabuki brush would work well if you don't want to use your fingers. Now I'm going to set my under eye concealer and the other areas that we concealed and highlighted. I'm using the Ben Nye Luxury Powder. I'm using the color Cameo. A lot of people use the banana powder, but I'm pretty pale right now, so this lighter color works a lot better for me. Plus it does add a little extra highlight. Now we are ready to start our contouring. We are going to bust out the big guns. This is the Kevyn Aucoin, the sculpting powder in medium. This is by far the best contouring powder I've found. I'm applying it with a Real Techniques contour brush, and as you can see, it just really creates that very real looking shadow, and it's not heavy orange. It's very buildable. I really can't say enough about it. So I always start with the cheekbone area, starting kind of from the top of my ear and going towards the corner of my mouth. Lately I find that when I'm contouring my cheekbones, I want to go a little higher than I think. If you go too low with this, you actually might make your face look a little more droopy or kind of square shape. So maybe take your contour area a little higher than you think. I'm going to move on up to the temples and around my hairline. It depends on the size of your forehead, of course, how much you contour that forehead area. If you have a large forehead, you're obviously going to contour more, and if you have a small forehead, you might not even need to do much here at all. Maybe just do a bronzer up there very lightly. So blush is a not to be overlooked step of highlighting and contouring. You still need that healthy flush to your cheeks. So I'm applying a matte peach blush to the apples of my cheeks and sweeping that upwards. And I've said this tip before, but it's worth repeating just to try to keep your blush above the end of your nose. It gives your cheek more of that lift we're trying to achieve. And for my favorite part of highlighting and contouring in general, perhaps my favorite part of makeup is highlighting. I cannot get enough of highlighter. It's just such an instant gratification thing. As you can see, this highlighter is beautiful, and when applied with a fan brush, it's very soft. It's easy to control the placement of it without getting, a huge chunk of sparkle on your cheek. I'm using a highlighter from the Balm Voyage Volume 2 palette. You can use any highlighter that you like. The Balm makes a highlighter called Mary Luminizer that's really popular. Becca's highlighters are like world-renowned. They're so good. Really any powder highlighter that you like, as long as it's finely milled and not sparkly, just shimmery and light reflecting. All right, time to contour our nose. I'm using a double-ended Borghese brush. One side is like a pencil brush shape, which is great for laying down the initial shadow placement. The other side is a fluffier shadow brush, which is ideal for blending it out. So I'm starting from the top of my eyebrow and I am going down my nose, keeping that line very straight. That's our goal here, to create a slimmer and straighter nose. And you don't want to follow your nose's natural shadow line. If I were to do that, I really would just accentuate my nose but not slim it. So I'm bringing these shadow lines in a lot further than they naturally lie. You want to keep some space in between them, of course. And if you ever have trouble keeping that space there, you could always, take a strip of tape actually, or just like a strip of paper, lay it down your nose and make sure you don't go over the paper, so you stay right on either side of it. Okay, now I'm taking the opposite end of that brush and I'm using the fluffier part to just soften out that shadow line. I used to make the mistake of bringing the shadow down the sides of my nose too much, and that just kind of made it look like I had a prosthetic brown nose placed on my face. So don't do that. Just go over those original lines and soften them out. We're not really trying to bring them in any further. We're not trying to blend them out onto the sides of our nose. Just soften the line you initially created so it looks more natural. For a little extra slimming, I like to take a pop of that shimmer highlighter and put it just on the tip of my nose. And then I'm going to take that same powder highlight and run it down the very, very center in a very skinny line right between the shadow lines. This is just going to further accentuate that nice straight appearance. And another little bonus step I like to do is just take a little contour and put it under your bottom lip. It does tend to give your bottom lip a bit more of a pouty appearance, so it's just kind of a fun extra step to do. And now that we are all highlighted and contoured, I am just going to take a setting spray. I'm using the Pixie Glow Mist because I love a glowy look. You can definitely use more of a mattifying setting spray. So we are all done. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.